All right, welcome to the Young Money Podcast. My name is Diana Menezes.
And I'm Vince Galanco from wheninmanila.com. And yes, this is a Young Money Podcast where we try to find inspiring people and try to learn what they do and how they do it and how much they make and hopefully follow in their footsteps. And usually we try to get people who have amazing lessons to teach us. And then I'm very, very excited because our next guests, I believe, do have quite an amazing list of things that they've done and do. We have two guests. We have Ever Miranda. He's a performance coach and founder of the SLS Successful Living Summit. It's an organization with a presence in 3 continents and thousands of vanguard transformational leaders worldwide. We're also joined by Brannigan Pan. She's a performance coach with many years leading teams for global companies. In 2008, Brannigan was invited to be a guest judge for an episode of NBC's Emmy-nominated television show, The Celebrity Apprentice. She's currently the COO of SLS World Cup, serving and working with transformational leaders around the world. So let's bring them on. We have Ever and Brannigan from SLS, which is, again, the Successful Living Summit. Thank you so much for joining us, Brannigan and Ever. Really appreciate it.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here with you.
And you guys are in California right now, right?
Yes, we are.
So I gave a brief intro, your elevator pitch, one sentence here. Maybe you guys could tell us a little bit more about yourselves and about SLS.
Okay, absolutely. We'd love to. Thank you for having us on. It's such an honor to be here. My name is Brannigan. I am the Vice President of SLS. I'm also a designer and an inspiring carpenter. I have owned and operated a couple successful businesses, and I'm very proud to also be the mother of 3 beautiful children, and I also homeschool them. So I stay busy, and I love every minute of it.
Very, very busy. Awesome.
Awesome.
Ever?
What about me? I'm a transformational consultant and a business leader. I grew up here, I'm born and raised here in Los Angeles, and I'm middle of 5 children. So I wasn't the boss and I wasn't the baby. And I was raised in a business family, and I learned a few things from my parents, and then got that business bug and continued pressing forward in business. And in that, I got the value. I learned the value of working on myself and studying leadership. And because of that, all these seminars and books that I was reading, we created this leadership organization that we're taking to Manila. Well, we've been there since 2017, but because of the pandemic, we went on Zoom with our events. But this March 18th, we're back in person at the Marriott Resorts World, Pasay City.
Oh,
And
wow.
Nice.
This is what's happening with us. Fast forward, that's my childhood all the way to right now. But I could go on with my childhood if you like.
If we had more time, or maybe in the future over a beer, but I think people want to get to the money right away on our show is what happens. So please tell us more about SLS, about the Successful Living Summit. What is that?
Well, it's an amazing program, a workshop, transformational workshop. We educate on, I'm so sorry. Go ahead.
So, yeah, breakthrough performance in all areas of life. And we're kind of going back and forth before this podcast about being laser with what we're up to in the Philippines, and that's why she's laughing.
Yeah.
But that said, it's coaching in personal and professional areas, enhancing our areas in life like communication, relationships, business, love, communication, through these transformational workshops.
Got it. Got it. And what made you decide to come to the Philippines?
That's a great question. There was some participants that took the program in Los Angeles, California, and they experienced amazing breakthroughs. And after the second course, because it's a 3-part course, they came to us and they said, "We got to take this to the Philippines. Will you bring this to the Philippines?" And they pioneered the Philippines with us. And now it's about 1,000 graduates later. And we've been doing 4 or 5 events a year, transforming Asia together with leaders on the ground.
That is
Nice.
amazing. And I think Filipinos would really benefit from this.
Yeah,
I feel like
that's true.
there's different types of leadership styles and there's different types of business styles everywhere in the world. And I feel like being able to adapt or pick up little things from each business style, from each culture, I feel like it really enhances how you lead and how you run a business.
Yeah, not only that, also like the coaching that they're talking about in terms of like how to be better in communication, how to be better in all areas of your life. I think that's the key point here, right?
Yeah, well, they all spill into each other.
Mm-hmm.
If you're having challenges in one area, it really isn't the circumstance. It's how you're showing up in the world.
Right.
Okay.
I
So
love
can
that.
you tell us more about the about the event that's coming up?
Well, it's a 3-day summit. It's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, March 18th, 19th, 20th. We're expecting over 200 people from all over the Philippines. And the way it works is that it's built on itself. So if you miss the first day, you won't be admitted the second, or if you miss the second day, you won't make the third day.
Because it's a step-by-step thing.
And well, yeah, we could say that it's an experiential training. So
Okay.
there'll be exercises and processes that will lead you to assignments to the second day and the third day. And it's definitely the kind of experience that many graduates have said it's as impacting, right up there with having a baby or launching a new business.
I can vouch for that.
Well, why don't you share your story?
Well, I got started. My first experience with SLS was back in 2016 out here in California in Los Angeles.
That's not that long ago. Wow. Okay.
No, I know. I mean, and that's something that's so amazing about SLS is the really like the quantum leaps that you experience in life because of the breakthroughs that take place. So when I started, I had actually I was invited to a graduation of one of the workshops, and I was sitting there listening to the graduates share about their breakthroughs, about what they experienced, and I started like, kind of going like this in my chair. I couldn't sit still. I was so inspired. And so when the trainer asked, "Who's ready to enroll in the next workshop?" I stood up. I'm like,
Nice.
me, because I was just so resolved, and in the context of being victim in my life and just kind of in the drift and letting just life happen. And I was very happy to be a new mother, but I hadn't taken care of myself or focused on I had just let life happen without creating anything. And so within 6 months, I experienced the first 2 workshops, completed the first 2 workshops, and I experienced such amazing personal breakthrough that by 2017, I had dropped 50 pounds. My health had taken a complete 180 turn, and I no longer was in this survival context. Just in survival, just getting
The fight or flight mode, right?
right.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I had decided and had declared that I can create who I want to be now, no longer waiting for someday to be better or anything like that. It was okay. I am powerful. I can decide who I'm being today and create what's important in my life. And so that was the beginning of it. And so they're powerful. And what's amazing is being in a position to touch, move, and inspire people's lives, not just in California, like where I'm at, but all over the world.
So who are these workshops for? Like, who do you recommend join these workshops?
For me, joke. No,
Yes.
like I recently went through a breakthrough also. I had cancer in 2018. And since then, I started researching neuroscience. And then I discovered a lot of people who are in the same journey as me to like find themselves again, find the meaning of life. And I discovered, I just didn't know about you guys. And I'm really happy that you guys are the guests today because now I have something to look forward in March. I will definitely pay a visit to you guys because like this is exactly the stuff that I'm into. Diba, Vince? Right, Vince?
Yes,
I'm
Diana loves these
always
things. She loves learning.
I love this thing. I love learning, guys. Like you have no idea. This is so timely. But yeah, especially with pandemic, a lot of people don't know where to go. Like they lost their jobs. They have no meaning in life. Anyways, even prior to pandemic, they were just like, in this survival mode all the time. And then you're not healthy while you're doing that. You're just literally surviving. You're just, living for the next paycheck or the next trouble, or you're focused on the victim mentality, or this happened to me, whatever. Some people get stuck there, or in their comfort zone is like, it's okay because this happened to me, or this happened to me in the past, or I come from a family with this background. So they justify their mistakes in life and they never grow. And I think you guys are going to change a lot of lives here. Am I right?
Absolutely. It's all about transformation. And it's about breaking through those barriers and making that declaration of not becoming, but who I get to be now. And
So yeah, other than Diana, who do you recommend this for?
Well, I'll tell you that the human condition, because life isn't personal, we experience, all of us, you, myself, we experience 99% the same experience of living, which means we have the same issues, limitations, concerns. We're equal, really. So I'm answering with, it's for everyone, because we all have blind spots. We all have things that are hidden from our view. And let's say if we knew what was limiting us, then we'd have breakthroughs, but we don't, because the stuff that we're dealing with is invisible. So when you come into, let's say, the first workshop, it's all about discovery of where you are and what's possible. So it's about facing up to your current reality. And we recognize some stuff that we didn't even know. So this training is for everyone, and especially those that are about living an extraordinary life, a life we love. And who doesn't want a life you love? A life where we wake up inspired and we inspire others to do the same. So the short answer is for everyone.
Vince, it's for you too. Let's all go.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, yeah.
So, well, as far as the show, we usually try to interview people in their fields, what they do, how they got there, how much they're earning, so other people can do it. So, we are recommending. I do love these types of transformational workshops as well. So, we are recommending this to our listeners. But maybe we can also talk a little bit about you two as well, personally. I guess, would it be safe to call you life coaches? Is that, or what do you call yourself? What profession do you call yourselves?
Well, yeah, you could say that. I'm a transformational consultant and performance coach.
And how did you guys get into that field? How did you end up in this field?
Well, in having multiple companies and having mentors in the businesses that I was working with, they would recommend books. They would recommend seminars. They said, hey, work on yourself and be valuable in the marketplace. So in launching companies, I saw the value in equipping my team and equipping our team and taking different seminars, reading so many books. We put this curriculum together and we launched SLS in 2015. So it's based on applying all of this in different companies and having successful companies that really the results they spoke for themselves.
Okay.
It was where people said, hey, Brannigan, hey, Ever, we want what you got. I said, okay, well, work on yourself. There's these seminars, there's these books. And so after so many years of leading, we created SLS.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
How long has
I love
SLS
it.
been around?
2015.
Okay.
And we
Yeah.
have thousands of
2015.
we have thousands of graduates around the world. And June 2022, we're having the World Cup of Transformation.
What is that? Tell us
Yeah.
about it. I'm
Well,
interested.
So as we know, there's a World Cup for basketball,
Yeah.
there's a World Cup for soccer.
For
Well,
soccer, yeah, I'm from
there's
Brazil.
also-
We always have the World Cup.
Yeah.
Let's change that a little bit to make people better. So tell us
Yeah.
about it.
So this is the World Cup of transformation, and it's a celebration of everything that's happened up until now, and an opportunity for those that are transformational leaders, those that are living in a transformed space, and anybody and everybody can come to the World Cup, and we exchange ideas on how to live a life with full self-expression, well, life where we're expressing ourselves confidently and really living a life, the kind of life where we're in significance. Because my mentor once said, hey, Ever, you could work on yourself, transform yourself, and you'll have success. But if you transform others, you'll experience significance.
Wow.
So we're together
Wow.
for a noble cause at the World Cup. Last year it was in Aruba with New York Times bestselling author Andy Andrews together with us on stage. And this year we're launching out of Puerto Rico the World Cup, and the noble cause is a world that works for everyone.
Nice. I'm
That's
so
awesome.
excited for this. Biz, how come you have this kind of guest here and you don't let me know, but I'm prepared? I had no idea. I had no idea that you guys gonna come up with this kind of business because usually it's all purely business that people will talk about and how, the steps to make a business just like yours. You know what I'm saying? Like if people wanted to be coaches like you guys, like transformational coaches and like help people. But in this case, I'm just so interested in your content because that's something I've been doing since 2018, since I got some healing, and it's transformational to me. Like I have here, I can see like the longevity paradox, the high five habit. This is your food. This is your brain on food. Eat to beat disease. This courage to be disliked. 7
Lots of
highly
books.
effective people. Yeah, that's what I've been reading for this pandemic. Think and Go Rich, and the one from Robert Greene. But it's like so many books and so many seminars I see online, and you guys are actually making this available for the Philippines because I'm over here just like buying all the content I can have to become a better person. Parang, whoa, this is crazy.
I love how excited you are, Diana.
I am. I love our guests.
So on the show, we usually at this point I'd usually ask 2 questions. One is, but I'm not sure it applies to you guys because most of our audience are Filipino, so I would usually ask for steps on how they could be what you do, but it's a different place. I don't, so the
different
advice you might
dynamic
give-
altogether.
Well, my background is business, Vince.
Yeah.
Well, how can people do what you do? How can they be a transformational coach or a life coach like you?
Well, again, SLS is one company that I own. I have other companies and investments. So I think really what I'm about to share applies with everything. And something that looking back is something that I learned from my parents, not knowing it was these 3 things.
Okay.
So the first one is be love. And number 1, be love. What's that mean? Well, love God, love yourself, love others. Treat others. Don't treat them like, so they can feel important, but know in your heart that they really are important, and you'll treat them automatically perfectly well. So people will not go along with you if they don't get along with you. So number 1, be love. And sometimes, and this is where I had some blind spots when I was studying this, is I didn't really know the full expression of love. I was busy being right with those around me. I was busy being the law. I was busy being, right about the way it ought to be instead of being grace, instead of being love. So, and that's really key, because if you're in business, whether with your clients or your partners, businesses are going to fail. Things are going to come crashing down, but that doesn't mean the relationships need to die. And so that's one thing I learned from my parents is, hey, be love, treat people good, because yes, maybe those partnerships will dissolve business-wise, but the relationships could still keep growing. And so those are the same relationships that are going to open doors for the next opportunity. Brannigan and I have been in multiple businesses, and some of the businesses that we've had, well, they ended, but our relationship didn't. And so when we invite each other to something, we are enrolled in each other. We buy into her. I buy into her before I buy her vision. So number one, be love, because in the long run, businesses come and go, but the relationship can continue blossoming and flourishing.
That's really, really good advice. That's really good advice.
Yeah.
So
Number
building
two.
relationships. Okay.
Yes, and there's going to be issues, but never let the issue be bigger than the relationship.
Wow.
Very
Again,
good advice.
again,
Dropping bombs here.
we
I love it.
We could be love or we could be right.
Yeah.
And do you get what I'm saying when we could be love or we
Absolutely.
could be right?
Mhm.
Yes. Yes. I've been in relationships before. So yes.
Yeah. So we know what it means to win the argument but lose the love.
Right, right. Sometimes I always hear
I
like
got that. I got that. I know.
I always hear, actually this morning on my meditation, I was listening to this drum page from Abraham Hicks where she was like saying sometimes, all the time, it's better to seek for happiness than always being right. You know what I'm saying? Or, just be happy about it. Just be happy. It didn't work. It's okay. Be happy about it. Just look for the next thing that can make it better. How do people apply to go to your...
Wait, Dan, we'll get because he's giving
Ano?
3 tips. So we got one.
Okay.
Let's finish that
Sorry.
first.
Let's finish.
Yeah.
Okay.
By the way, I want to piggyback on Diana because with what you said, Diana, because it's something I share in the training room, and it's wherever we're not happy in our lives, right there, we're being right. Wherever we're not happy in our life, right there, we're being right.
That's right.
And
That's right.
some people, when they hear this, just like I did, it takes me a minute it took me a second to really get that. And so the second theme, Vince, is integrity. Integrity, and if we look at the meaning in the dictionary, it's when something does what it's designed to do. In terms of a human being's life, it's a matter of honoring our word. And so in business, if I'm showing up late to our meetings, a half an hour late, an hour late, and we're going to meet about making new agreements about our business deals, well, you're not going to trust me anymore. I just broke an agreement. So it's little things like that are hidden from our view that we share in the training room, which is integrity. Without it, nothing works. And that's something that I learned with my parents is, hey, do what you say you're gonna do. And I get it, we're not robots, but the moment you're not gonna do what you say you're gonna do, address the affected parties and handle the consequences. You see, a lot of us, because again, life is impersonal, it's the human condition. What we do is if we show up late, for example, what do? We sweep it under the rug like it never happened, or we say, sorry, traffic.
Oh my God, be prepared for the Philippines. Because it's real traffic over here and people really are not all the time on time. And I am guilty of that too, because I've been here for 15 years. So I act like a Filipino, but I totally get what you're saying. Yeah.
Well, you could be Filipino and be extraordinary and be on time, Diana. It's a matter of
no, I learned it. I learned it over the years. Yeah.
We have a choice to be senior to our circumstances.
Facts. True.
So that's number 2 is integrity, honoring your word. And number three is perseverance, tenacity, resilience, not giving up. Because I was sharing earlier, there's going to be failures, there's going to be breakdowns. However, that doesn't mean there needs to be a breakdown in you. That doesn't mean that there's a failure in who you're being.
That's true.
And yeah, things are going to fail, things are going to crash, but we get to be resilient. We get to be intentional. We get to be, and that's it right there. Be. Because one thing that I love to point out, forget about believing. Forget about becoming. SLS, the language that word access, is about being right now.
Mhm.
You see, a lot of us, we have goals, or we have something that we're going to get to one day, and Brannigan was mentioning that. It doesn't need to be that way. How about you come from there? And what I mean by that is, if you're a C student, and you say, okay, I want to be an A student, well, rarely does that happen. It happens every once in a while, but instead of saying, hey, I'm a C student and I'm going to be an A student, how about right now you declare I am an A student and collect the evidence and the practices of an A. So you're coming from it instead of going to it.
I love that.
I like that. I like the 3 pieces of advice you gave. Thank you for that. Before we get to Dan's question of how do they sign up, I think that's perfect because I feel, can you give us a little bit more concrete info on what the seminars are? I feel like I've heard very vague info, like it's for everyone. It'll help you transform. It'll help you change. It feels very vague. So can you give me something more, like a little bit more detail? What is the seminar? What a little bit more detail on that.
Yeah, so they're experiential courses on personal and professional effectiveness. And it's 3 steps. It's a 3-step journey. And the way it works is the first step is facing up to your current reality. And what's that mean is if we're going to go on a journey, if you're going to, travel, what is it that the airline website is asking?
Like your information and stuff?
Well, it
Is that
asks
what
you
you're
your
saying?
it asks you for your personal information,
Right.
your name, address. What else
Where
is
you're
it
going?
Where you're going, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
your destination. Yeah.
Okay, but it also asks you another thing.
To pay for your ticket. I'm
To
just
pay for
kidding.
it. Yes. But
Yeah,
we're
it comes with the working on yourself.
but we're
That's the
missing
part.
we're missing one thing. We're missing one thing to pay for it, but there's one thing it also asks.
Where you're coming from?
Yes, precisely. Where you're starting, where your origin, where you're coming from. So the first step in the journey is, hey, let's get authentic about areas that perhaps we've been inauthentic. Where are we? What's using us? What's limiting us? And let's be real.
Yeah.
Where are we in our lives? And we like to say that the results are the measuring stick. The results tell our truth. So we get to take inventory of where we are in our lives, financially, emotionally, spiritually, physically, in all areas. So that's the first step, is facing up to current reality, discovery of where we are and what's possible. The second step of the journey is breaking through all barriers and rewriting the software that we are. See, Brannigan, after the second, which we call Final Summit, the second course, that's where she broke through.
Oh, yeah.
With breakthrough performance. She dropped like 40 pounds. It's because she reinvented who she is. So that's the second step of the journey. And the third step of the journey is servant leadership, transformational servant leadership. How about shifting the world? And it isn't about me. It isn't about you. It's about us and we. So it's a three-part program. And, I'll tell you that we really can't explain it because it's experiential.
No, that was great. That was already great. I'm
Okay.
good with that. That was a bit more specific. I feel like it was a bit vague earlier. I wasn't sure yet. But so that was a great description.
Yeah.
So,
I'm excited already.
so Diana, your question, which you were way too early to ask, I'm excited about.
I was
Your
so
question,
excited.
Diana.
Yeah. Okay. No. Yeah. So we know now you guys are coming over on March, right? This March 18, 19, 20th. Am I correct?
Yes. Will
All
you
right. I'm sorry?
Will you be in the Philippines?
Yes, I will be here. Hopefully,
maybe-
I won't be locked in on a taping bubble because sometimes we have that for the TV shows we're doing. But hopefully, I will be out of that already. I really want to join. How do we, not just me, our listeners and our viewers as well, how do they do that? How do they
All
join
right.
you
So
guys?
listen, Brannigan has to say something about want.
Oh man, big lesson that I learned. There is no power in wanting. We commit and then we handle it. So we can want
Yeah.
all day long. We can want this, I want that, I want to be successful, I want to lose weight. But until we commit, there's no power in it. So we commit and then we handle it and we make it happen.
Yeah, and Brannigan, that's one of the breakthroughs she had is, hey, she saw there's no power in the gun want. She said, I have a new gun and commitment.
Yes.
It's successfullivingsummit.com, successfullivingsummit.com. That's the website, and there's many events you can register. But just look for example, SLS 1. That's the event, and you could go through the portal of Asia, or there's actually people that fly in from other countries, or you could go through the North America portal and register through that. And then
Nice.
we're on Facebook, Successful Living Summit on Facebook. There's awesome videos, interviews, testimonials, a lot of information.
So when were you in the
Amazing.
Philippines last, you said?
So we were in the Philippines
Pre-pandemic?
the fourth quarter of 2019, and we were scheduled to be March 2020. And
Wow.
it was right before it was right before I pressed the button to book my flight.
Oh.
Well, I guess partially fortunate that, but I guess that means that the first event did really well, which is why you're coming back as soon right away, which sort of the pandemic's just now sort of ending here, and you're coming back already. So I guess the first one did really, really well.
Yeah. I'll tell you, we're there because the graduates refer their family and friends, and it's just brush fired. And
Nice.
we're around 1,000 graduates, which is nothing. Our noble cause is to transform millions of lives around the world. But we know that the Philippines is the springboard into all of Asia, because from the Philippines, South Korea, Singapore, Taiwan, all of Asia. As a matter of fact, we're launching in 2023 a headquarters. Our partners, we're investing in property, a building, and we're going to have a headquarters in, I think it's going to be like Makati or BGC.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, nice. Oh,
well,
awesome.
I will be seeing you guys around more. How many people are you expecting at this seminar in March?
Well, if all goes as planned, and we're coming from collecting evidence, it's going to be over 200 to 250 lives, depending on right now some of the conversations we're having with the Marriott, because there's limits.
Unfortunately, still partial remnants of the pandemic, hopefully going away, but it's unfortunately still here. So awesome.
They're asking that we do 80% of the capacity of the room. So, but we have already 100 lives that are being registered by February 15th or so.
That is great. Diana, did you have more questions before I ask? I don't know how I'm going to ask the money question, but do you have any more, Diana?
No, I'm just really excited to meet them in person. I don't have a question here. I don't even think I can do my summary for this episode, because I think people just have to check their content out, because like I'm a big fan already. Like, I don't, you guys can see from my excitement. Like I've been looking for people that I can meet just like you guys, but through pandemic, I've been doing all these things online, I guess.
Excited, yes.
Yeah, very excited. So, go ahead, Vince, because I know you have the money question.
Well, but just to let you guys know, Diana loves these things. I guarantee you she is committed inside to go if she's available. But Diana's actually, she's a big celebrity here. So that's why if she has a taping or a big gig, unfortunately. But if she's available, I guarantee you she will go, because this is her thing.
I would even cancel stuff to do that. Yeah, believe me.
Well, Diana, we're coming all the way from the United States. So it's worth your while as well.
Yeah, I was there last month, and I just didn't know about you guys. Now that's great. Thank you for guesting also on the show. But Vince, I know you have the money question, and I
Well,
don't know
I'm
how
not
you're
sure
gonna
how to
do
do the money
that.
question. So we
I
have our Jerry
know.
Maguire money question at the end. Show me the money, where we ask people, okay, in your profession, how much do you make? How much if someone did what you did? But again, it's different because you guys are earning dollars in the state different. So I'm not sure what is there something we can discuss as far as figures for people or whatnot?
Well, I mean, yes, there is huge rewards in coaching, in consulting. Um, Personally, I haven't had a job in over 20 years. I've had
Mhm.
multiple companies. Some of the companies I've had have generated well over six figures. Um, I mean, Kobe Bryant was my neighbor at one point. Since
Oh man.
uh, we're talking
Oh man.
about finances and things like that, but it's really multiple streams of income. And as far as money, uh, the way I see it is, and I love the name of your show, by the way, because it's not what we make, but it's where are we putting what we make, and is our money producing other children? You see, my mentor once told me, he said, hey, maybe you don't like money. Maybe money's not important for you. And I said, why would you say that? And he said, because you always get rid of it. So that to me was that to me was a slap in the face. And he said something like, hey, why don't you instead of giving away your children, why don't you keep your children so that they could have children and there's an offspring and goes with your name and you continue having young money.
Yeah. So,
Beautiful.
I get it. Invest your money, make your money work for you.
Precisely.
Yes.
Yeah.
I got it. So that was an amazing conversation. Oh my god. We
I'm
have so much
excited,
more.
Vince.
I know you. I can tell from you. I know you're excited. Yeah, we can tell. So it's awesome that you're excited.
Well, I hope with the listeners are also going to be infected
The-
with this energy, because like this can change a lot of people's lives, and I think
Absolutely. I
it's a
feel like the
must
right
now.
mindset. And
Yeah.
he already gave so many gems today. Even just the way you think about things.
Hmm.
Choose love or being right, little things like that, the way you think about things, the way you think about money. And imagine he gave so much info already in these 20-30 minutes. Imagine a whole 3-day transformational thing. So would highly recommend. I go to these a lot as well, and I'll sign up the whole When in Manila team, hopefully. So lots of Diana, for your key points or summary, maybe you could just give one of your favorite things you heard today.
I just love like all the breakthrough that Brannigan was talking about, and it's not even about how people can just drop pounds from like transformations, but also like transforming your life can transform anyone that is around you, and not just your future, but also like just living in that peace, of where you are at that moment. Being present is highly important for me, and I only learned that going through a very painful lesson in 2018, and I had to go through that to kind of like discover myself, and I'm still on that journey, and I think there's always something to learn. So I think what you guys are bringing here is really life changing, and Filipinos are not very much exposed to this, I must say, because like when I first got sick, I was immediately just brought to like Western type of medicine where I can just be cured through machines, and it's not how it works at all. There's quantum physics, there's epigenetics, there's all these kind of things that you can work on around yourself, with your energy, with your inner self, basically. And people think that's bullshit, and it's not bullshit. It's the main thing. It's not even like, not to bash anyone, but some people rely way too much on the external forces. Sorry, my cats are crazy. External forces, yeah, keep on jumping. I think they like the energy, that's why they keep on coming here. Yeah, and like external forces, like even like because of culture and religion, a lot of people can't recognize the light they have inside themselves. And I'm really happy that you guys are bringing this here, and I know this go off from my summary, but yeah, that's basically how I can translate how it makes me feel here with having you guys on the show. Thank you, and I'm looking forward, as in so much. Now, every time we finish, before we end the show, I ask our guests, what is the final tip? One final tip you can both give to our listeners.
Well, first, I just want to share that's inspiring, Diana.
Yes.
And
Thank you.
thank you. Thanks to Vince, yourself, When in Manila for having us as guests. And well, Brannigan, what would you say?
Oh boy, just one thing, huh?
Well, more
And-
during the seminar, but for our listeners right now.
Yes. Well, one thing I would say is when you have that opportunity, when someone thinks of you and invites you to Successful Living Summit, take advantage of it because they thought so highly of you and they see and it's in a way an expression of love. Don't pass it up. You know, really stop and take a look at that and say, okay, that person loves me enough to introduce something so powerful to me, and I don't know what I don't know, so just go for it.
Yeah.
And
Nice.
because that's what Ever did for me. That's what he did for my family, you know, is he invited and invited and invited and invited. And finally I was like, yes, okay. And it's so it's special, and it's the best way that we can be love to the people around us. And so my advice to the listeners is when you get that invite, listen and just go.
Yeah, and I would
Nice.
say have the humility and the courage to be coached.
Yes.
Because a lot of
Yeah.
times when someone doesn't come to an event like this that's about adding value to your life, well, there must be very likely there's a lack of courage or a lack of humility. Not all the time, but that's many times what's missing from my experience. So my tip is, hey, be coachable through humility and courage.
Nice.
Thank you so much. And
That's
one more
a-
time, please do.
It's an amazing advice, though. Yeah.
One more time, please do invite people again to your summit coming up. Let them know how to invite and let them know where to follow you too personally in case they want to reach out to you personally. Maybe you have your socials. So please
Yeah.
share with us
So,
your contact
Vince,
info.
Thanks, Vince. Thank you so much. It's the Facebook is Successful Living Summit. That's the Facebook and Instagram. Me personally, a business page, Ever Miranda, and Brannigan also your Instagram, Facebook.
Yep, it's Brannigan Minardi Pan. So it's mouthful, but that's it.
I'll look for
There
you
you go.
guys here. Yeah. There you
There you
go.
Thank you so much again,
Well,
ladies
thank
and gentlemen.
Thank you so
Ever
much.
Miranda and Brannigan Pan from SLS, the Successful Living Summit from the U.S., calling from California, coming to the Philippines for the second time because the first event was so successful. Thank you so much. I am personally very excited. So we'll be getting the corporate rate for my whole When in Manila team and joining you guys as well. And hopefully Diana's available so we can see each other there.
Yeah, we'll be working and serving with you because again, this partnership, we're expanding this win-win relationship with When in Manila, and we appreciate all the articles When in Manila has written the last time that you guys came out.
Well, thank you. We appreciate. I'm sure the people who attended really appreciated what they learned, and this time I'll be attending as well because I do feel like I need a little refresher on life lessons. It's been
Let's
a while
invite
since I've
our
been to one of
friends
these.
too, Vince.
I'm sorry?
I know a few of our friends that would love to be there too. So
I
let's
think
share
I know
this
who
good.
you're talking about. So yeah,
Yeah.
we'll invite them.
Whoever you invite, I'll tell you right now, whoever you invite, they're gonna thank you for the rest of your life.
Yes.
I know that's a bold promise, but it's true.
I believe you.
No, yeah. I believe that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So again, thank you so much. Really appreciate that. So people, please do sign up. Hopefully we will see you there. Me and Diana will most likely be there. But again, thank you so much, guys. My name is Vince Galanco from wheninmanila.com.
My name is Diana Menezes, and this is the Young Money Podcast. Thank you so much for watching or listening to us.
Bye, guys.